Hello, my name is Isaac Hubbard, and today we will be learning about how to use GIMP 2. GIMP 2 is a photo editing software similar to Pixel Editor, but this one you download it instead of going on Explorer or Google. So it has a lot of the same tools, like the select tool. This one has a wider variety. There's a square select to select everything in a specific area. You can also extend the area with the corner pieces. There's also the circle select tool to get everything in a circular area, and again you can change it. And then this one is the most useful one. It's the lasso tool, also known as free select. So you can just click the area you want to select, and then you have to make sure to connect it back at the end, but then it selects everything in that area. Also, if you have like a stylus or something like that, you can click and drag to get a specific area without just clicking. They also have a wide variety select where you just click and then it selects a large area. And then if you press shift and click, you can add to that area, and if you press control and click, you can get rid of a certain area. And if you just click again without pressing anything, it gets rid of the old area but then adds a new area. You can also change how much it selects with the threshold. So the higher your threshold, the more it will select, and the lower your threshold, the less it will select. There is also the color picker tool, which is similar to the wide select tool, only it goes by color instead of just looking the same. So if you wanted to change the color of a large area, you can do that. This one also has a threshold tool if you want to get like more hues of that color. But you have to be careful with the threshold of this one because it goes up by a lot very quickly. And then if you want to undo a select, you can hit Control A and it gets rid of all the things you selected. You can also hit Control V to undo something you just did. Now these three tools, you don't really have to worry about them. They don't do much. These three tools, you don't really have to worry about them. They don't do much. But this tool is very important. It is the color select tool. So if you want to get a specific color from the picture, you just click, and then that's the color you'll start drawing with whenever you start. You also have the zoom tool, where you click and you can zoom in on a specific area, but you have to be careful because it just zooms in at random intervals. You can also hit, so it zooms out at random intervals. And then if you hit control and then click, you zoom out. But again, you have to be careful because it doesn't zoom out and zoom in at always the same level. So it's very hard to get specific with it. The measure tool is if you want to get very specific with the image. You click and drag, and down in this area you can see the distance between your 2 points. And if you click and drag, and there'll be an angle, and then down here you can see what degree that angle is at. The next tool is the move tool, which just lets you move whatever you've selected around, which right now I have the whole image selected, so that's why all of it is moving around. Another tool is the crop tool, which this is in almost every software, and it just lets you get rid of some unwanted area. So you just click and drag the area you want to keep, and you can adjust it here, and then click inside, and then you only have that area. These four tools are very similar in what they do. They let you alter the direction of the image in multiple ways. Rotate lets you flip the image upside down or at any angle. The scale tool lets you make the image bigger or smaller, and you can make it really skinny or really wide. The the shear tool lets you make it face a certain way. And then lastly, the perspective tool lets you change the perspective. It looks like the image was taken. So you can drag it out like this, so then it'll look like it was taken from below. But those tools have not proved to be all that useful. And then the flip tool just lets you flip the image. So if you want like a specific area to be on the other side, you can do that. And if you click vertical, you can flip the image upside down. You also have the text tool, so you can just click and drag to get your text in a certain area. And then you type in whatever you want it to say. And then from here you have a variety of different options. You can change the color of all the text by using the color wheel. But first you have to make sure to highlight it. You can change the size of the text, but you have to make sure it stays within the text box or else it will get cut off. And you can change how far apart the letters are. And then once you're done with that, you just click out and then it'll stay there, but it'll be on a different layer, so you can't edit the image and the text at the same time unless you right click and hit merge layer down, and then everything will be all on the same layer, so you can mess with it all at the same time. The bucket fill tool just lets you fill in a certain area, and just like the wide select tool, it has a threshold, so you can select how much of the image you want to change. And you can also use it to give it a nice monochrome look. So let's say you wanted to make the color all one similar color. You just change the opacity to whatever you want it to be, and then click, and then it will all get that same kind of shade. You'll get that same kind of shade. Now this tool I have not found to be too helpful, but it is a gradient tool. So you just click and drag, and then it'll change the whole image to one color, which by itself isn't very good. But if you change the opacity down, then you can make it look more photogenic. The pencil and paintbrush tool are both used for the same thing. You can just draw different things with it, which is kind of hard with the mouse, but if you have a pen or something, it's a lot easier. And if you click here, you can change the color of what you're writing, and then you can also swap between them easily with this tool. Over here, there's a variety of different brushes you can use. If you're just wanting to write regularly, you can use the circle tool or the square tool. But there also are certain patterns, like the sand dunes tool and the sparks tool. The only difference with the paintbrush is that it does more of the texture. So here's the sand dunes with the pen, and here are them with the pencil. As you can see, the pen does more of the texture, and the pencil just does the shape. It's also very obvious with the Sparks tool, pencil. And then you also have the erase tool. So if you want to get rid of a certain area, you just click and drag, and then it gets rid of it. The airbrush tool is very similar to the pen tool, but just a lot fainter. So if you want to cover the whole image in a specific color, you can do that. The ink blot tool is for calligraphy and stuff. So you click and drag, and the faster you go, the thinner it gets, and the slower you go, the thicker it gets. You also have the clone tool, which I have found to be one of the most helpful tools if you're trying to remove something. So what you have to do, so if you hit the control tool, or if you hit the control key, you can select the area you want to copy, and then you just drag down, and then it will replace what the area you dragged over with what was in the area you copied. So then you can get rid of things very easily. You also have the blur and sharpen tool. Let me zoom in a little bit so it's easier for you to see. But that lets you make a specific area sharper or harder to see. So if you just drag regularly, as you can see, the image